Hello, Las Vegas, and welcome to Studio G, the magazine edition. Today we'll take a look at our top stories from earlier this week. Don't go anywhere, Studio G Magazine starts right now.
We are broadcast students
in the School of Journalism and Media Studies at UNLV.
We are senior producers.
Live over the web, we bring you news at noon.
In an all-student production, behind the scenes and in front of the screen.
Reporting, investigating, and covering news.
In the Valley, throughout the country, and around the world.
Today is Friday, and you're watching Studio G Magazine on UNLV TV, the week in review.
Hello and welcome to Studio G Magazine, the week in review. I am Alexis Ann. Federal office museums and parks can now reopen late Wednesday night in our nation's capital. A deal was reached to increase the debt ceiling and temporarily reopen the government. The debt ceiling will be raised until February 7th, and the government will be funded through January 15th. However, President Obama said, quote, "There are no winners here. These last few weeks have inflicted completely unnecessary damages on our economy." End quote. Government works have since returned back to work, and many monuments and national zoos have reopened their gates. Immigration reform continues to be a hot-button issue across the nation here in Nevada. The state is taking steps toward comprehensive immigration reform. Reporter Tommy Lauren has the details.
It's more than a piece of plastic. It symbolizes the ultimate freedom, the freedom to hit the open road. A bill signed in May by Nevada's Governor Brian Sandoval is now making that rite of passage accessible to illegal immigrants. This measure, which passed the Democratic-led Senate and Assembly, will allow undocumented immigrants to use foreign birth certificates to obtain driving cards, which will be valid for 1 year. To obtain the driving card, immigrants must pass a driving test and prove understanding of traffic laws. They are also required to obtain insurance. The card is strictly for the operation of motor vehicles and is not considered an identification card. UNLV professor and Hispanic studies expert David DeMoore believes the new law is a step towards solving the immigration dilemma.
There's obviously a clear policy need here because you have lots of people on our roads who aren't allowed to be on there under present conditions here, and so that if they're driving, they're probably driving without insurance here. So if they are to get into a wreck or something happens there, their activity is going to be probably just simply drive away from the scene or run away from the scene there, creating a bigger problem than already existed here.
UNLV students shared their reactions to this new law.
I welcome immigrants. I like to see people working hard and coming here, but definitely I think that giving a license before having citizenship may be a step.
Recognizing that they're illegal and not doing anything about it when we have policies in place saying that they shouldn't be here, that it's illegal, like in the name. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of that.
I don't really think it'll be dangerous to the road as long as they get the required testing, like they get their driver's license test and they do all the tests that everybody else has to go on the road. I mean, they can't be any worse than the other drivers here. I mean, it is Las Vegas, so crazy drivers here already, right?
Nevada joins the growing list of states including Vermont, Colorado, Washington, and Utah, just to name a few, that are passing similar laws allowing undocumented immigrants without social security numbers to obtain licenses or authorization cards. The national debate over immigration is far from over, but with states like Nevada taking a more lenient stance on immigration, the shift towards progressive reform is becoming more and more noticeable. For Studio G, I'm Tommy Lauren.
Last week, California passed a similar law allowing undocumented residents to obtain driver's licenses. We will keep you updated on the impact of the news programs. From immigration reform to a worldwide rally, people from all over the world, including Las Vegas, staged a protest against a major biotech company. The reopening Honey Love has more.
Hundreds of protesters marched through the streets of downtown Las Vegas for the second time this year, chanting, "Hey, hey, ho, ho, GMO has got to go." Now, what GMO stands for is genetically modified organisms. They're protesting against the Monsanto Corporation, which is the largest corporation that has been using genetically modified crops.
80% of the processed food that we're eating today is genetically modified. They're not telling us, and there's reasons why.
Protesters say that foods that have been genetically modified causes all sorts of health problems, such as diabetes, heart failure, brain tumors, and even cancer.
They've never done long-term testing, and it's never been independently researched whatsoever.
According to the Monsanto website, plants and crops with GM traits have been tested more than any other crops with no credible evidence of harm to humans or animals.
If you don't know what you're eating, then how can you not eat it and make a choice for yourself? So we're being force-fed foods that aren't good for us.
They convened on the steps of the federal courthouse to spread awareness about GMOs and also send a message to the government and Congress.
Force them to label all the products that have GMOs in it so we know what it is that we're eating.
We'll have more on this story as it develops. For Studio G, I'm Honey Love.
GMO-free Vegas will hold the next March Against Monsanto on October 31st in downtown Las Vegas during the Halloween parade. Child abuse has always been a problem. This weekend, 2 different families felt the effects of the issue. Reporter Bianca Valdez has the story.
This weekend, the 2-year-old son of the Minnesota Vikings quarterback, Adrian Peterson, died after being physically abused by his mother's boyfriend. There was also 2 young twin girls in Texas who were found neglected in a home with feces and 1 blanket in a small room. These issues have brought the topic of child abuse to the forefront. I spoke with the program director of Marriage and Family Therapy here at UNLV to discuss treatment victims would go through.
In the Adrian Peterson case, and particularly parents like Adrian who feel a responsibility toward their children but at the same time didn't have the ability to protect them, end up walking away with a lot of shame, a lot of guilt. Sometimes they might experience something that's similar to like a survivor's guilt. Because they don't feel like they were the person that should have survived.
Dr. Hertline says it's essential to have a good support system.
It's a crazy situation, and anytime you lose a child, no matter the circumstance of the situation, it hurts. Can't describe it, but we got a good supporting cast.
In the case of the 2 young girls that were found neglected, they would undergo a different type of treatment.
Is children experience their way in a very symbolic fashion. They're very experiential, so probably some of the best types of treatment would be what we call play therapy, which is just bringing the girls into a room and facilitating an experience where we as therapists trust the children to kind of heal themselves and play out their emotions and be able to express them in ways that are going to be safe and appropriate.
The Marriage and Family Therapy program on campus is fully equipped to handle any types of these cases.
The student marriage and family therapists are here to provide that type of treatment. We have a play therapy room for kids who would be able, any kid who's been traumatized, we'd probably be able to handle that here.
For Studio G, I'm Bianca Valdez.
If you or anyone you know has been a victim or may need therapy, you can contact the Marriage and Family Therapy Department at 702-805-3106. They provide all services free of charge. As bear hunting season officially ends, find out why some Nevada residents are very upset. Coming up on Studio G Magazine.
Grant. King Louie here.
This is Jennifer.
Crystal May Maguerza.
I'm Savannah.
Zoe here.
This is your boy Miles Lowe.
Christian FGY.
Kaylin Hype.
And I'm Jay Luna.
My Mind's Music.
Gonzo Radio.
Combox Radio.
Join us for Happy Hour.
The Miles Lowe Midweek Show.
Ill Vibe Theory.
On KUNV.
KUNV. KUNV.
KUNV HD2.
91.5 The Rebel.
Broadcast on Revcast.com.
Your community's farmers market. Welcoming, lively, friendly. A place where neighbors and friends come together to celebrate their community. With over 50 vendors, organic, sustainable, fresh produce are available just for you. Support and buy local at Fresh 52.
Animal advocates are strongly against sports that involve animal cruelty or death. In the state of Nevada, a great amount of money is made through cockfighting, horse tripping, and hunting and trapping large animals like bears. Reporter Elena Ledbetter brings us more details.
Nevada's 3rd bear hunting season began on September 15th and will last until December 15th.
and the members in Nevada's community are once again not happy.
So far we've had 25 bears killed in the state of Nevada for absolutely no reason.
Stephanie Myers is a Nevada trapping reform advocate and sees that bear hunting and trapping is unnecessary in the state. During the last legislative session, there was not enough attention brought to the representatives from the people of Nevada to stop these bear hunts. Within the state of Nevada, only 2% of the population represents the hunters and trappers. President of the Nevada Political Action for Animals, Stacia Newman, sees that the rest of the people have the power to stop these hunts.
According to the Constitution of Nevada, the wildlife in Nevada belongs to the people of Nevada. So if the people are saying they don't want it, and you have a handful of hunters that say, we want a trophy hunt, then where is the justice in all of this?
Nevada has a count of 150 to 300 black bears. Hunting and trapping these creatures poses a threat to the bears as well as other animals who have been caught in the traps or are chased down by hunters and their dogs. Traps only have to be 200 feet away from roads, which is harmful for families and their pets. Myers' previous dog, Sunshine, was a victim of a trap when her leg was caught in the deadly device. Myers knows that she wants to see a change in hunting and trapping for all animals in Nevada.
People who want to see reform in trapping are people who love animals.
Reform is only possible by speaking out. Newman and Myers encourages Nevadans to have the power and speak out not only for bears, but for all the wildlife species that are hunted for their meat and skins.
But the power is in the people. It's not going to be in a handful of hunters.
Reporting for Studio G, I'm Elena Ledbetter.
To speak out against bear hunting and trapping, you can check out the website at nobearhuntnevada.org. For some, the return of Las Vegas's Renaissance Fair this past weekend gave fairgoers a chance to step into the past into a handcrafted suit of armor. Reporter Bree Padilla has more.
While the bright costumes and revelry of this weekend's Renaissance Fair may have seemed novel for some, for others, it's a part of everyday life. That includes the traveling craftsmen of the Rosenthorn Armory. Originally from Salt Lake City, Utah, this group of leather armorers has carved a personally rewarding niche for themselves in the fantastical world that is the Renaissance Circuit.
So we push people into it usually, unless they're just like, oh my gosh, get it on my body now. And when they put it on, you feel it on you, you feel it hug you, you feel powerful. You're just like, hey, I look gorgeous, I feel gorgeous, I am powerful. There's my inner strength. Where has it been all this time? And you just see people coming alive when they look in the mirror and they just realize, hey, I can fit this.
Wearing armor and even wearing the women's tops is very empowering because no matter what, as a woman, no matter what shape or size you are, the moment you put on one of our tops, you just feel so much better. Like, we don't necessarily sell armor, we kind of sell confidence. Like, we're more concerned about getting people in and trying it on and making them feel confident than we are about actually selling it.
When I put on my leather top and my leather skirt, I felt so empowered because it feels like I can go through anything and still be tight in there, set to go.
Founded by Lord and Lady Thorne, also known as David and Meredith Entrican, the troupe specializes in making and selling combat-ready leather armor. Combining quality and design with an enthusiasm for this historic trade, the Rose and Thorn brings a unique flavor to the Renaissance world.
And I don't know, we try really hard. Every time we put a rivet in, we pull on the leather and we make sure the rivet's going to hold. We put all of our effort into it so we know we're giving people quality. And we know that it's going to last them forever and that they can pass it down. And it's just really empowering to me because we'll go through all these processes, but we double check everything.
For the craftsmen of the Rose and Thorn, leatherwork is more than a trade, it's a lifestyle. And they're able to bring empowerment and confidence through an old tradition. For Studio G, I'm Bree Padilla.
As festival brings new opportunities to share their craft, the Rose and Thorn Armory and its fair collection of craftsmen looks like it will be a staple of the Renaissance Circuit for many years to come. For more information about the Rose and Thorn and where to buy your own warrior gear, visit www.roseandthornarmory.com. National Coming Out Day is not only a celebration for the LGBT community, but an awareness and reflection day as well. Reporter Shaireen Lum talks to people in the community to bring light to this topic.
National Coming Out Day was Friday, October 11th, and it gave people the opportunity to reflect on what it'll take to legalize gay marriage in Nevada.
The Strip to be gone.
Fallon McCann sees tourism as the foe.
We're a tourist town, and when you're a tourist town like that, the biggest factor is you want to attract people, not keep people away. And unfortunately, not everybody accepts this lifestyle.
McCann has been out for a while and has great support from her mother.
I've actually been out now since about the 7th grade. Told my mom told me regardless, she's gonna always love and appreciate me for who I am.
The Senate Joint Resolution, which was passed by Senate in May, proposes to amend the Nevada Constitution to require recognition of all marriages, regardless of gender. In order to proceed, Nevada will need approval from the 2015 legislature and the voters of Nevada in the 2016 elections. Danny Escobedo, who has also been out for a number of years, says advertising is too one-sided and the tourism industry can't fully flourish because of it.
One of the problems is the advertising. Vegas is very sex-driven, so you want a lot of men and women to come here and have a great time. So once Vegas realizes that there is a lot of gay travel, maybe when they start promoting gay marriage, they'll actually get a lot more tourism here into Vegas.
According to McCann, the judgment is what's tough about coming out.
A lot of people struggle nowadays to want to come out because of the judgment behind it. But you got to think that when you got tattoos and piercings and stuff like that, you get judged no matter what. Be proud of who you are and come out.
At the Free Zone event to celebrate National Coming Out Day in Vegas, Escobedo expresses his thoughts on LGBT acceptance.
I really do. It is a lot more in the schools, so the youth know that they have to gay it forward. They are being a lot more trustworthy and know that the people in their workplace are also gay. Give it a little bit more time. Like I say, put faith in people, put faith in love, and everything will happen.
For Studio G, I'm Shayreen Lowe.
The Free Zone Club, located off of Naples and Paradise, has been celebrating this day for 13 years and now sees no end to the celebration. Coming up after the break, we bring light to a sport that has never been looked at and the controversies surrounding music and dance. Stay tuned.
Collegiate DECA promotes personal and professional development through competitive events, community involvement, and leadership development.
I joined DECA because I wanted to get out of my comfort zone. So I got to meet people, network, and definitely work on my public speaking.
To join DECA, it's a very simple process. You have to pay a $25 membership fee. You can either come to our next meeting, our website, which is unlvdeca.co.vu.
We're open to all majors who are interested in business, finance, or hospitality-related fields.
You may have noticed the teams playing on the intramural fields late at night. Reporter Jordan Hardy takes a look at the team on the field.
Football and basketball are well-known sports at UNLV, but little do others know there are other club sports like women's lacrosse.
The women's lacrosse team is one of the 9 club sports on campus that provides the opportunity for students to participate in a sport that is not offered by the NCAA. Justine Masnich is a freshman who is new to the game of lacrosse, and her teammate Rachel Allen is a veteran who is excited about the number of girls that are coming out to play this year.
Anyone that joins gets to be in it, which is nice, and the girls are really nice here, and they're helping me learn lacrosse because I didn't know how to play, so it's really great to just come out and exercise and have fun with the other girls.
We actually didn't even know how many girls we would have this year, so to see like 20 girls out here or something like that tonight, it's actually kind of encouraging.
Equipment is not handed out to the players like it would be for NCAA sports because of funding. But Coach Lydia Rugama uses her connections to provide equipment for the ladies.
Since the sport is so small, we do have a lot of people that we know that are involved in lacrosse here in Las Vegas, so we kind of do the whole borrow and, interchange equipment.
Chelsea Bradshaw coaches with Lydia and does not mind not getting paid to coach because of her love for the game.
I like getting people introduced to something I'm so passionate about. And then just seeing newcomers come on the team who have no experience whatsoever and they just easily pick it up, it kind of drives me more to teach them more.
The team won the Western Women's Lacrosse League as a South Division II team in 2011 and ranked 3rd last year. According to Coach Lydia, the team looks pretty good so far.
I'm really hoping for these new girls. They look like they're pretty athletic, so they should be picking up the sport pretty quick and just hoping to get that first place again.
The team is still looking for more girls to come out and join, and they don't mind a crowd of support either. For Studio G, I'm Jordan Hardy.
If you're looking to join the women's lacrosse team, they hold practices on Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. For the first time ever, UNLV's Sympathy Orchestra collaborated with the dance department to bring the most controversial ballet ever to UNLV's campus. Elena Ledbetter brings us more.
For the first time at UNLV, the dance department will be accompanied live by UNLV's Symphony Orchestra.
This is like participating in, in the Queen's event. It's internationally important.
After being given a grant of $10,000, Margot Mink-Colbert, the assistant chair of the dance department, worked alongside UNLV's orchestra director, Taras Krisa, to construct a performance the university has never seen. Margot and Krisa chose 3 historically controversial ballets, Nijinsky's Afternoon of a Faun, Stravinsky's Rite of Spring, and Ravel's Mother Goose Suite to be performed this weekend. Taras Krisa explains that these ballets are challenging for both dancers and musicians to perform.
It's very difficult for the orchestra. It requires very high level of playing, conservatory type of playing. It's rarely done in college.
Since school began in August, the musicians and dancers have worked very hard, rehearsing almost 20 hours a week. The ballets have been newly choreographed by renowned dancers Anne Hutchinson-Guest and Claudia Jeski, which is notable for UNLV's history.
This is the most significant thing we have ever done. I mean, first of all, to do full. Second of all, to have a full orchestra and to have full new choreography to these works, the other works. I mean, it's historically significant.
UNLV student and violinist Alex Hill hopes that the significance of this performance will lead to more of them in UNLV's future.
Let us do more of this in the future, because this is a great opportunity, and a lot of orchestras don't really get to do things past maybe the Nutcracker.
This collaboration between the music and dance department will bring both history and modern art to UNLV's campus, as well as Las Vegas. Reporting for Studio G, I'm Elena Ledbetter.
The 3 ballets will be performed Friday, October 18th at 7:30 p.m. and Saturday, October 19th at 2:30 and 7:30 p.m. For more information about the performance and tickets, check out unlvtickets.com/performing arts. The sport of mixed martial arts, or MMA, is a sport based on strength, speed, and skills. Reporter Farron Enos learned some of the basic moves from a local MMA fighter. Let's take a look.
With the Velasquez and Dos Santos UFC fight happening this weekend, the sport of MMA continues to grow in popularity, especially here in the Las Vegas Valley. I met with local MMA fighter Weston Dushin to learn some of the basic moves in this intense sport. We started with basic boxing moves. First, we found my power punch.
The power punch is usually the hand that you write with.
Oh, okay, my right then.
Yeah.
Then he showed me how to set up my power punch.
And then,
so 1, 1, 2.
Yep.
All right.
Moving on from punches, we learned how to kick.
I'm teaching you kicks.
Kicks, okay.
Yes, but I'm going to set it up with my hands.
Okay.
So it's just like 1, 2, and then I'm coming in and bam.
Oh.
Weston was quick to show me the proper way to kick to avoid injury. He instructed me to hit with my shin bone and not my foot. Understanding the basic movement, I tried out the kick on Weston.
Your power kick is going to be the same side as your hand.
Okay. So let's try this.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to set it 1, 2, kick.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Lastly, Weston showed me the move that usually ends the fight.
We're in the mount position.
Okay.
And from this position, this is pretty much game over, because if you get in this position, you should finish the fight.
They're going down, huh?
Yeah. Because if I get in this position, that's like, I did it, now I'm just gonna punch until the ref pulls me off.
Okay.
Just
punch him. What else can you do?
You can also just throw just nice elbows.
Oh. Okay.
So.
That's harder than it looks.
Yeah.
Wow.
With a bit more practice, maybe one day I could enter the octagon.
Thank you so much, Weston, for showing me the moves of MMA. I feel like I could be a real champ now.
For Studio G, I'm Farron Enos.
Thanks, Farron. Maybe someday we'll see you testing those skills in the ring. Are you ready for some speed? Bree Bradley brings us the latest in trackside. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
This is your house too.
Located on the campus of UNLV on Brussels Street sits Housel House, the Center for Social Justice. A place where everyone can participate, explore cultural identity, share different experiences, and learn leadership skills. No judgments. You are accepted, you are important, and you are welcomed.
Stand up, speak out, and change the world.
Good afternoon, race fans, and thanks for tuning into this week's segment of Studio G's Trackside. As race season begins to sum itself up in a majority of the motorsports associations, the fight for a championship leaves many teams scrambling for top finishes. Best in the Desert's Blue Water Challenge took place over Saturday and Sunday in a short course style desert race in Parker, Arizona. Saturday was a day full of carnage and lead changes in Class 1 with time penalties assessed, mechanical failure, and on-race course battles, but the 1577 of Justin Lofton managed to finish on top. Finishing a mere 38 seconds behind him was the Jimco 1518 of Chuck Hovey, and third place was 1589 of John Walker. The trophy truck race on Saturday didn't see near the lead changes as Class 1 with Rob McCachran leading the entire race. He finished first a minute and 43 seconds in front of Dale Dondell, and points leader Jason Voss finished third. Sunday's race left crews and drivers pushing the envelope to either defend or steal the class points lead. Lofton, proving that nicely, swept the weekend with another win on Sunday and unofficially changed the points lead in Class 1. Heading into the final race of the season, the Henderson 250, the Class 1's point summary will unofficially be changed by Lofton, Walker, and Hutchins, and in trophy truck class, Voss, Wyrick, and Olagus. Since we're talking about points championships, Saturday's race at Charlotte.
This week I had the opportunity to meet up with a special group of young girls. Check it out.
Let's make a difference today.
The Rites of Passage is a 10-week mentoring program designed to provide the necessary tools for youth to become responsible, caring adults.
Rites of Passage means sisterhood to me. This program is giving the young ladies an opportunity to see that women can empower and love and support and encourage one another.
The weekly workshops are a positive way to help inspire and teach the young girls to become the best they can be. Along the way, creating an unbreakable sisterhood.
It feels like we're related. Because we have such a close relationship now that we've got to know each other.
Grandpa Omar, Aunt Kianga. Honoring our ancestors is one of the many aspects of the Rites of Passage program.
I like to give the young ladies an opportunity to honor someone who is special to them in their life, who has made their transition, and to also let them know.
You're never too young or too old to have a special mentor in your life. We all need a role model to admire. It's important to share the love. The Las Vegas community can always use more mentors. If you or someone you know is interested in becoming a mentor, please contact China Hudson at miss_pojazz@yahoo.com. And that's all the reviews we have for you today. We hope you enjoyed watching. Be sure to check us out Monday through Friday, coming to you live from the web at noon. I'm Alexis Ann. Have a great weekend, everybody.